Hey y'all, welcome back to Mama Loves Manga. So I'm sitting in a chair now and I love it so much because, you know, I am a tired mom, okay, and we like to sit down. The only thing that would make this more perfect is if I had a glass of wine, but it's barely 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I mean today I'm going to talk about 2 manga titles that I recently read and highly enjoyed. The first one is a shorter of the 2, and that is She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai with art by Tsubasa Yamaguchi. This is a title that was published in English by Vertical Comics. I came across this on their website and took a screenshot so that I could remember to look into it. I sent the screenshot to a friend of mine who I thought would be interested, and she responded with, "That looks depressing." And to be honest, I low-key also thought it was going to be depressing, but after I read this, I fell in love. This is a little bit depressing. It's a little bit depressing, I'm not gonna lie, but it's very relatable and poignant and beautiful. It's just good. It's good. The story follows a woman named Miyu and her cat Chobi. I don't want to talk about it in too much detail because I do not want to spoil it. I definitely think this is something that you should go into without knowing a whole lot about. But I will say this is what I would consider to be a true slice of life. I highly enjoyed this. I very much recommend this. If I were going to give it a star rating, I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. But, you know, I'm kind of over the whole trying to give books star ratings. I think this is something that can't really be rated. You just have to read it and you either love it or you don't. You either feel something or you don't. And if you don't feel anything, I'm going to question you and we might not be friends. She and Her Cat is a wonderful story. I highly recommend it to really anyone, but especially to those of us who are at an age, I would say between like 20 to 40, honestly, between the ages of 20 and 40, which I know is a pretty broad range, but I feel that any of us can read this and relate to it, because I definitely think that between 20 and 40 is an age, it's an age of regrowing. I feel like we get to a I feel like as we're growing up, once we get to 18, there's this moment of, ugh, I know everything, I'm grown. But then after 18, you start to realize that you don't know everything. And usually around 20, 21, it seems like that's more likely the time when the majority of us are moving out to live on our own. We're graduating college, we are getting, I guess, real jobs, and we're trying to become adults. And I think that's a stage where you realize, oh man, I don't know everything, and it's almost like you're a child again, except for you're in your adult body. So people look at you and they expect you to know everything because you look like an adult, but you don't feel like one because you're just trying to navigate all of these. You're trying to navigate this new realm, this new life that you're in, this new age. And as someone who is in her 30s, I feel like this is something that continues. And I'm hoping that it will stop when I'm 40. I'm hoping that when I'm 40, I won't feel like this grown child person thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just had that whole spiel and y'all are just looking at me like, girl, none of us feel that way. Where's my other one? Where'd you go? There you go. Alright, so the next one I want to talk about is Arakawa Under the Bridge by Hikaru Nakamura. This is another good one, and you know, this is a lot, and I don't want to just read the back cover, so I wrote out a synopsis, and I'm going to read what I wrote because I can't remember it off the top of my head, so let me get my notebook. Okay, this is my take of the synopsis after having read this once and a half. Yes, I read this once and then not too long afterward I read halfway through again to refresh myself, and also because it's that good. Koichi Nomiya, heir to a prominent company, was raised to believe in the motto, never owe anyone. And he made it into his 20s doing just that. Until the day a group of teenagers stole his pants and he ends up falling off the Arakawa bridge. He gets rescued by a young woman named Nino, who claims to be from Venus. In order to get out of owing her, Koichi attempts to offer her whatever she wants that his money can buy, because remember, he's like a rich heir and all that stuff. However, she's not interested in material things, so she asks him to teach her about love. And even that description makes it seem kind of cheesy because of the whole love thing. But this, oh my gosh, it's so funny. So like I said in my janky synopsis, Koichi is this rich guy who, despite growing up very well to do, was also expected to do everything himself. He was never allowed to owe anyone anything. And it goes into further detail in this volume, and there are some flashback scenes that are absolutely, well, they're hilarious but also disturbing. And you know, it's things, his dad did stuff to him that I would never should I say, like, okay, so there was a flashback that he had to where, like, his dad one day was like, okay, so because I spent X amount of time doing all of these things for you when you were a baby, like changing your diaper and feeding you, it's your turn to repay that debt. And what his dad ended up doing is dressing up like a baby and basically making his son do all the things for him that he did when he was a baby. It is creepy, actually, and I would never do that on purpose. But I do feel like once I'm old, I would like, there's going to be a day when I'm going to be old and I'm not going to be able to take care of myself, and I really hope that my children will remember that I wiped their butts, and maybe they'll wipe mine when I'm old. But I would never force them to do it, okay? They have a choice. This is going a different direction. Anyway, the point is that Koichi could be this arrogant jerk, but I do think that because of the way he was raised and because he was raised to not owe anyone, it actually makes him very, it actually makes him, I don't know, it gives him character. It makes him not so much of a jerk because he's just like, you know, I worked for everything that I have and I don't owe anyone. And he's also very willing to pay people back. But I will say that it also colors his relationships in that because he doesn't want to owe anyone, he doesn't really let people help him. And I'm thinking that as the series goes on, he's going to start to learn how to rely on others and to realize that it is okay to rely on others and to have relationships with others where there is a give and take. Wow, I didn't even know that I got all of this out of that. There is sort of a romance angle, but I will say in this volume, it's not super strong. Like, it is, but it's a gag. Like, he ends up being Nino's boyfriend. It's more of a gag throughout this first volume because they don't know each other. Like, they literally just met the day that he fell off the bridge and she saved his life. So it's more funny than anything. This is definitely a comedy, but there are some moments in it that are kind of a little bit deep, and it makes you think, and it's fun and quirky and weird. And the Venus thing, this Nino girl claims she's from Venus, and I'm honestly convinced that she is. But then there are also the secondary characters. I'm looking at the back because, yeah, the secondary characters are all very interesting and strange and quirky as well. I just love this series. And moreover, those of y'all who read a lot of manga, you know about like the author's little side excerpts and little side stories. The author, Hikaru Nakamura, she is adorable. Like, I really like her. I like the things that she has said in her little afterwards. She just seems really funny, and I don't know. She has a bonus manga where she draws herself in the world, and it's freaking hilarious, and I highly recommend that y'all read this. Anyway, these are excellent titles. I really hope y'all check them out. If you have read either of these, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. I want to know your thoughts. I would really love to talk to y'all a lot more about manga, so definitely follow me on Instagram as well, at MommaLuvsManga. I'm trying to get better at posting Insta stories and letting y'all know when I'm reading something new so we can chat about it. I run several Instagram accounts as well as another YouTube channel and a handmade jewelry business, and I'm a mom, so I wear a lot of hats. I'm doing a lot, but I want to talk to y'all more, and I feel like Instagram is a great place to talk. So follow me there so we can chat about manga and stuff. And yeah, that's all I have for today. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.